Hey, welcome everybody. This is episode 2 of whatever this podcast is called. Maybe it's Post-Capitalism America. If you're just tuning in, essentially we're asking the question, is America and capitalism necessarily the same thing? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. We're going to find out maybe tonight. And then we're also asking well, if it isn't, then what are we? And then we're also just being hopeful, right? There's a lot of fear mongering right now. There's a lot of panic. Leigh, is my guest here, is going to tell us all the reasons we shouldn't panic. I'm just sure
about that.
But before we get into that, let's meet my guest. Leigh, would you introduce yourself?
Yep, sure. So my name's Leigh Miah, and a native from the UK. But met...
Not the University of Kentucky.
No, which has come up a few times with people in Kentucky thinking I'm from Lexington, so they don't have much world knowledge. So I'm from the United Kingdom, land of the Queen, and been here for, 9 years now.
Wow.
Which is pretty wild, because a beautiful Louisville girl turned up in London, as they do, and I kept her. But as marriage goes, it wasn't long before she was like, all right, now I'm taking you with me. And that's been our story. So here I am in Kentucky, in Louisville, in the neighborhood, love it. And been here for a good 9 years.
Well, I always say the Kentucky women are like library books. You can check them out, but you got to bring them back. There's something about the soil here.
That's very true, mate.
A Kentucky woman. If you marry a Kentucky woman out there, and I hope you do, because they will love you till the day you die. That's the other thing about a Kentucky woman. But I took my beautiful wife to arguably some of the best cities in America, New York City, LA. And I checked her out for a while, but I had to bring her back.
Oh, yeah.
She gave me 8 good years. And then it was like, overdue, time to come back.
Yeah.
I totally understand you on that one.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Well, today, Leigh, we're talking about, something very light, very light. We were having a conversation, weeks ago, 4th of July.
In the Miller's pool.
Yes.
With a Miller Lite. I mean, it was as American as you could get, right?
It was the 4th of July in a pool with a 100-foot slip and slide.
Yeah.
Drinking beer, having barbecue, having a good time.
It's great.
But as I told you then, I started to wonder, especially post-COVID, I don't see this working out for us on the whole, in the long run, as far as capitalism is concerned.
Right.
And I'll give one example. When I was trying to become gainfully employed after moving back, I looked at a lot of jobs, and it ultimately ended up the only way I could make the money work was to work for FedEx as a driver, just about full time, and work as a server at one of the best restaurants in Louisville, La Bodeguita de Jimenez.
Yeah.
So arguably, if you had to get into food service, this is one of the best.
Right.
And if you had to get into a job that we hear is good, granted UPS is unionized, so it's different, but FedEx, you're a driver. And with those two jobs, I could barely make ends meet.
Yeah.
And I know my story's not uncommon. While I was doing that, I was still looking for another job, but like the real job, you know what I'm saying? And I was shocked to find out, and I'm a trained professional, let's just say that. I had done filmmaking, nothing amazing, but I was trained in the world of New York City filmmaking. I was trained in the world of Los Angeles filmmaking, right? And I came back with a nice resume, projects I'd worked on and things like that. And even walking in the door, one, there was not a whole lot of people hiring, but if they were, the annual income was around $38,000 a year to $43,000 a year, which I know I'm a single income household,
right?
So it's a little tricky. But I would like to think, and maybe this was it, I would like to think that that American staple of the option of because I also have 4 kids, as you know.
Yeah.
The option of having a one-income household so that your kids can have one parent who's around most of the time. I really thought, a professional who's trained could make that happen, even though maybe you'd have to make sacrifices, right? Maybe you're not going to out to eat as much. Not a big deal. But for 38,000 to 43,000 with a family and with a household, the numbers just didn't add up.
Yeah.
So I realized, like, oh my gosh, I probably had 5 interviews where I did ask the question. So this isn't like a sample of 1. This is a sample of 5, still modest. Mm-hmm. But we're talking marketing, we're talking content creation, we're talking even working for the city as a spokesperson kind of a thing. The person that writes the scripts when something bad happens.
Right.
I can't remember that. That was probably the lowest paying. But you get free bus fare.
Man.
Free bus fare. Anyway, so that is one example of I realized wait a minute, this capitalism world is challenging. And even listen, he's a bit of a firebrand. He's touch point, fire point, but Tucker Carlson had even mentioned at the point that somebody can't work, support a family, and buy a home, they get angry and things are going to get really intense. What are your thoughts on, I know I talked a lot, but what are your thoughts on kind of that vibe?
Yeah, I mean, well, I understand even as a family where we've only got 1 child at home and 2 incomes, it's still a struggle. And so we know that world. With especially I think now obviously costs been skyrocketing. They're only going one direction at the moment.
Yeah.
And I don't
think
think
of the eggs. They're going the way of the eggs.
And pay, even from what I hear, hasn't moved a great deal over several years. So you think of the disparity there, and you're thinking it's just seeming like the gap between what you need and what you've got is just widening all the time. So I get why it's a problem, why it needs to be talked about.
Well, and some stats that say that we're not living in a bubble. Consumer debt is at an all-time high.
Right.
And this is after, during COVID, there were people who ended up leaving dead-end jobs and finding better jobs a lot of times. But now, post-inflation, those better jobs are paying effectively as little as the dead-end jobs were. And I don't think that it's irresponsibility
right.
That is leading to those stats.
Yeah.
Well, light topic tonight. Of course, we're going to keep it hopeful because what I'm super interested, you from the UK, of course you're familiar with the saying, the sun never sets on Britain. Have you heard that before?
Never heard that.
Never? Oh my gosh, that was like every history teacher was like,
man,
as we all
right.
know.
Yeah.
And it was because the countries that England had colonized, and this isn't a colonizing podcast, but Britain had footprints in so many countries all around the world that at one time or another, something was always lit up. So the sun never set on Britain.
That's
because
good.
Even if it was India or Africa or Canada, and the sun never set on Britain.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the glory days of Britain so we can understand the scope of it. Do you know?
Yeah. Well, I would recommend, but if you ever go to the UK, you should go and visit the British Museum and see everything we ever stole from all. I mean, we're given from all around the world.
Who gave it exactly?
I mean,
was it the owner who gave it, or?
Yeah, I don't know. They were gifts, apparently. Everything in the British Museum is a gift. So, but I recommend it. Go check it out. But it's testament to how wide the empire was, and the reasons why they went and did what they did all over the globe. A lot of it nefarious, and let's be honest. So they did some good in places they went to, but I was actually just even reading about ginger, like the spice ginger.
Okay, I love ginger.
Yeah, the reason that India and Asia and all got colonized was like they went for the ginger. and they really wanted it. It was like the thing they would use for healing and, you know, for ailments and different things.
Wow.
Closest you could get to that in the UK was horseradish. And it was
Oh, that's not the same.
distant second.
A mouthful of ginger,
Distant
a
second.
mouthful of horseradish.
Yeah, terrible. So yeah, we're not going to go there. But so you see like this empire just spreading, and obviously over time, that's really shrunk down. And I don't know how many years it is where a country's given back, or, you know, they ask for their independence, and obviously there's no argument with that. Some countries have chosen not to have independence from the Commonwealth. But now Britain is still, someone said, I think it was like, you know, Jimmy Carr, the comedian. Have you heard of him?
I don't know. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't, but
He's a very dry comedian, just
Okay.
like dry humor.
sounds like a guy I'd like.
I think you'd like him. You should check him out for sure. I think you'd jive with him. But he said that Britain no longer, and it was like in a comedy piece, but he got real serious with him, and he's like, Britain's empire is no longer the nations. It's not all the stuff we have. He's like, Britain's empire now is in its banking system. So like the British Empire still exists. It no longer exists as this navy that circumnavigated the world and was all over, you know, number one. And it's no longer in the countries, but it's in its banking system, which is a very interesting thought. That it's like, all right, Britain may still be up there, and it's a very different thing to what it was. So the empire is now in its banking. So I didn't know if you knew that. I never even thought about that, but that's...
Gosh,
Yeah.
I haven't. It is interesting to me that you guys were once the authority in military.
Right.
You're also the authority in culture, in knowledge. You were the authority in territories. And a lot's changed since then. So what I'm should we be scared, right? So how is Britain now? Of course, we're also post-Brexit.
Yeah.
It was its own second reckoning.
Unbelievable.
And so as a country, you've had several reckonings. Is there anything we should be scared about?
Yeah.
I like how you said that. You're like, yeah.
Well, yeah. Let me think about that rather than be scared. But gosh, you know, I see where the UK is maybe in a lot of ways maybe 50 years ahead or somewhat from the US. So even the way the country was built on Christian principles, and how that's kind of shifted and changed. I see the same happening in America now, where like even the systems, the way it operates is slightly different, and it seems to be going the same way as the UK. So I think you can look at the UK and see it as a country and even have an idea of what's coming down the track. So it's a good kind of a test to see what's happening here in the US. What would I be scared of would be the question for you guys, or for us. I'm here now, I've got a green card, so I'm not going anywhere. What am I scared of for us over here? I think opportunities become more scarce. We're seeing that here.
Job opportunities?
Job opportunities, but even in life, you can see that it becomes a lot harder. So, you know, you've got the great migration from the cities, where here you can be around the city, especially in Louisville, right? We're in a small city, but in London, the commuting distance that people are traveling now is consistently going out 3 to 5 miles on where it was. So now they're building high-speed trains that are cutting through the whole country, like up the spine of the country, so people can get into London to work, because less and less is it possible to live there, to be able to afford to live there.
You can't find a job close to where you are. You have to go to the cities. There's no longer have an option of, I'll start my business here,
right?
In this hamlet, wherever. You've got to go in.
Right.
Okay.
And I mean, that's a result of capitalism, right? You've got this, you know, the Industrial Revolution kicks all that into gear, where you've got all of a sudden everything's more centralized, and people move out of the villages. They go and maybe leave their skill. You've got the cobblers and the blacksmiths, and they're on the production lines.
You guys still have them.
We still have them. Yeah, we still got the cobblers in the hamlets. You need to go and see a cobbler. It's a good experience, man.
Is that roads or shoes?
Shoes.
All right.
Yeah.
Cobblestones, cobbler.
You'd find a cobbler on cobblestone roads though, which just makes it even better. Next to a pub, most likely, which is even better. Yeah. So, yeah, I think you see this just constant shift from. It means that you have less time connected with your community. It's a lot of fragmentation is what I see. So like your life just becomes more and more fragmented. You've got everything moves away from the home, from the family, from the community, because so much of your time is taken either like commuting to the city and then back, and then you're there a whole day. So you think about that over the course of a week even, and it's encroaching on a lot on life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that you said that we should be scared about, at least nervous, at least paying attention to.
Pay attention to.
Because it sounds like maybe the things we're worried about, like, we're going to be sold to a different country. Like it's the end of the world. I don't know the old, the movie in the 80s where Cuba comes and takes over America.
I don't know if I've seen this.
That's not exactly what we should be worried about. Maybe we should be more concerned about, now you don't get to choose where you work. There's only a handful, and you're going to lose time. You're going to get a little more fragmented. What else?
Mate, I don't know.
No, I didn't send you that question.
You didn't send me that question.
Well, take me.
I was not ready for that one.
Well, we'll let that marinate. But you had said that y'all are about 50 years, possibly a potential future, 50 years.
Right.
What are some earmarks of what that looks like, both good and bad?
Yeah. If we're going to ask what are the earmarks of capitalism, you could always ask like what's good, what's not good, right? So I do think that you see some of the good is that you can still create opportunity. It takes a lot more effort, I feel like now, to be able to do that, but you still have that freedom. There's not intervention over what you do, so there's a liberty there to be able to say, all right, I'm gonna try this thing, and I'm gonna make it work, or I'm gonna at least have a go. So I think of Amanda, my dear wife, who's started a business, and in the system here it's like she's got an idea and someone's like, hey, that's a great idea, here's some capital, go do that thing. And there's a freedom to go do that. So there's something good in that. And maybe this is like something probably more American that I see is it's so entrepreneurial here that, there's an entrepreneurial spirit in the land. And I think that it's like, oh yeah, go and have a go. So maybe people do that more here than they do in the UK, because over there it's like, stiff upper lip, just keep calm and carry on. You just get in line and do what you got to do. So that's a different thing as well.
Yeah, as an outsider looking in and living, what would you say are kind of those maybe virtues or good parts of being an American? It is easy to just buy into like, oh, well, it's denim, it's flags, it's patriotism.
Right.
When you look at like, hey, this is what I'm so impressed by America.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Yeah, man.
The pioneering spirit.
Pioneering, yes.
Like, you told me that.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, for real.
Isn't everybody crazy, like half crazy like us?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I think it's probably somewhere, and I was thinking about this when you asked that question. I reckon it lands somewhere between Daniel Boone and Ted Lasso.
Okay.
I would say
optimistic,
exploring.
Okay.
Just that innovation, the connection to the land. I think that there's something that's very much in the pioneering spirit. That kind of like, we're going to have a go at this, and it doesn't matter what gets in our way, we're going to go for it. I think there's something, and I'll say this as an Englishman, like the British find that so endearing. Like we won't admit it that everybody wants to be like that, but that's why Ted Lasso is so popular in England. And Amanda was Ted Lasso. My wife, when she came to England, she had that tenacity, that get up and go, like, hey, we're going to do it. And it almost like the people around were just like, well, just
It was a lot for them.
yeah, just stay there a little bit. But it rubbed off on them. And so I think that when you see that, it's something in the American spirit. It's really it's a beautiful thing. And I think that there's, the entrepreneurial spirit comes from the pioneering spirit in my mind. So it just carries on through, and it's a great thing that's part of the fabric of the culture here.
Man.
And the people. Yeah.
Come on.
Have you ever been to Cumberland Gap?
I haven't been to the Gap, no.
Man.
It's good?
Yeah. Me and Clayton Cooney were listening to a podcast on Daniel Boone traveling through the Cumberland Gap.
That's like perfect.
Oh my gosh. So he was, and like how he was connected with the land, how he had good relationships with the natives. And it was just like this beautiful picture of just like, oh man, there's something that just captures you of what it is to be in America, right? There was just something that grabbed us. So we went and we found and stood in the Cumberland Gap. There's a little signpost there. You can go stand right in the middle of it. Great overlook to check it out. I highly recommend it.
Man, I have to do it.
Go see the Cumberland Gap.
It's funny you say connection to the land, because I was thinking one of the things about America is, we have the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
Here in Louisville, we have so many places you can go walk in the woods. There are several dudes I know who are uncomfortable, in a room with people, but they are very comfortable out in the woods.
Yeah.
It is just, and a friend of mine who did the Appalachian Trail, when he came out on the other side, he was like, there was nothing to fear in the woods. You might see a bear. He saw a bear too.
Yeah, man. We saw a bear.
Okay.
It was terrifying. I didn't know what to do. I was like, Clayton.
What'd you do?
Well, we were in the car.
Okay.
Like Clayton saw it out of the corner of his eye. I was like, let's go and check that out. And I told him, you should be grateful that we were in the car. Because like if we were out of the car, what does it say? You don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to outrun your friends.
Oh, is that what they say?
That's what they say.
I'm not going on.
I don't know how fast Clayton Cooney is, but he might beat me in that race.
He's got long legs.
He's got long legs, yeah.
He's got long legs.
He would have got ahead of me.
But even like if you consider the number of bear attacks versus the number of homicides, or just the trash that is. Anyways, I know that I love you saying that America is connected to the land.
Right.
Because we are sold a narrative of, oh, well, America is like suburban sprawl. But what if that is just not American? Maybe that's money.
Yeah.
Which begs
thing.
the question, American capitalism. Same thing, different things. Are they holding each other up? Are they, what is your take on that?
Yeah, two completely different things in my mind. Two completely different things.
Unpack that for us.
So I think about like something right now. Actually, I've got a couple of stats because I was thinking about.
No, he came prepared.
I did bring some stuff.
He did the homework.
Yeah, man.
We're finally on track with the questions I sent you. So that's comforting, I'm sure, to you.
And it may tie into the land somewhat, but I was thinking about like the boom in homesteading. And so there's something of like a self-sustainability. There's something of let's do everything within our means to live, that we're not depending on the overly consumer culture that capitalism drives, or and we see it like with the employment and the disparity. What happens if we become more just dependent on living with the land, on ourselves? And so there's been a boom, and apparently it says here that there was a 2023 poll conducted that nearly half of the respondents were under 39 years old of the homesteading, and it's almost 47% that are new to homesteading with 25.5% having started in the previous 1 to 3 years, they're millennials and Gen Zs. So they've done this this case study, and they're saying like if they were to take that case study and roll it out across the country, then half of them are 39 and under. So you're seeing this boom in younger people, generations, and 25% of those people have started like very recently just following that out. So I think that there's something in the American people, and we might just see it like right now just popping his head up more so now. And so it's with some self-sustainability, like how do we live with the land rather than just taking what's from the land. And so there's a big shift in that. So I think that's been there. It's probably, and you know, we talked about COVID, right? And just how COVID just seemed to just highlight or bring a bunch of stuff to the surface. And the amount of people going from the clocking in, clocking out 9 to 5 to working remote and to being home more. And I think it's just maybe stirred something that was already there in the people of like, man, there's something here that is just part of my DNA and wiring. So yeah.
Well, you encouraged me. You're like, bro, start composting.
Start composting,
You're like,
man.
bro, stop using plastic bags.
Yeah, don't do it.
One of these days I will. I promise. One of these days. I have bags in my trunk. I just forget to take them in. It's terrible.
Yeah. What do you see?
What's that?
What do you see as like with America being different to capitalism?
Yeah, I think when I try and peel it back a little bit, I think that we're a very social country.
Okay.
I think, unfortunately, social apps and media have actually served to make us less social. But thinking back to like the Rotary Club, Kiwanis, the Leo Club, or Lions Club. I was in the younger group, the Leos Club in high school. So there's the Lions Club. It's just like any excuse for people to get together. Bowling clubs. I feel like at our best, we're very social, and when we find something we love, we advertise it and try and get as many people together as possible.
Yes.
Just assuming that everybody's going to love exactly the same thing. Maybe that's the Ted Lasso. You're like, this is amazing.
Who's not going to love it?
Like, I love podcasting. Of course, Leigh's going to love podcasting. Duh. So I think that at our best, we're very social.
Yeah.
I also think that at our best, we do kind of dream and have big hopes and thoughts.
Yeah.
Oftentimes unrealistic, but you know, what's a man without a dream?
Right.
It's a woman without a dream, right?
Yeah.
It's a little problematic. You know, it's interesting too in that each pocket of people is so different. So I feel like we're they say it's not a melting pot, it's a tossed salad. So there's just so many different peoples that are so different.
Right.
And that I think the best of American vibe is we like new cultures, we like new foods, we like new music for the most part.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty American. But I'm not being interviewed here. You tricky. So those are. Do you feel like those ring true?
I do.
Anything else you'd see?
Man, yeah. I mean that rings true to me. I was thinking about something that. Well, let's go there. So like capitalism. And the Industrial Revolution. So we'll take it to that because it's really difficult to disconnect both of them because it kind of just perpetuated that thing forward, right? So you've got this pre-industrial revolution life, and then you've got where we are now and where we might be heading, right? So I look at pre-industrial revolution, and you've got that element of the sustainability, and then you've got that element of trade, which was like, hey, we'll do something for a fair price, and so we'll bring our cobbler back. We can have a blacksmith if we're here, maybe. I don't know what would be like. You can tell me the better trades to pick. For the example,
let's say carpentry.
Let's do a carpenter. Yeah, so carpenter's gonna build you a house as like for a fair price, and they'll probably trade trade goods and different things. And so there was something really sweet in that you had in the culture. Industrial Revolution comes along, the carpenter is replaced by machinery, and so he has to jump on the production line, and then he's getting money, so no longer can he do things for a just price, because then he's got to go and live his life and pay for his food that he would have traded for his skills. So I thought, not so much as it's happening, but wouldn't it be great to see some more of that going on again, of like, this is like a trading thing. So the pub we're going to have open very soon, just got our ABC inspection, which is
You got it?
major deal. Well, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking about that. We're talking about doing brass for beers, and there's something, although it's
Which
fun,
is you bring
a
in-
brass item,
Uh-huh.
it'll be weighed on the scale, and I don't know how we get around this legally. We've got to figure it out. So don't quote me that this is happening.
If you are a judge, this has not happened.
It's not happened. It's not going to happen. It's not
Yes.
going to happen. But if it
And
did,
the pub is located in the East End.
yeah.
You'll find
Yeah.
the brass pub there.
Over there, yeah. So, but there was something even sweet in that thing of like, oh, you bring something, and you gain something back. It's not a transaction,
Okay.
but it's like what we have to offer you and what you have to offer us. And there's something very sweet in it. And I'm like, oh, I'd love to see more of that. I don't know if that stuff's happening. I didn't get to research that, but
I don't know.
But the thought of seeing that trade-in,
Yeah.
just again, like for services with goods, with what we've got and offering. And so
Yeah.
if we could see that in the future, that would be,
Man,
and I think that's pre-capitalist America. So why can't it be post-capitalist America as well?
Well, and drilling down into capitalism, that I feel like is, it is a framework, right?
Right.
It doesn't have a soul. There's no spirit of capitalism. It's just a very robust way of moving money around.
Right.
I do enjoy the freedom of money, that I don't always have to find somebody who wants the thing I'm selling, not selling, but trading.
Right.
I can be like, oh, let's turn it into a universal item. I feel like where capitalism gets real tricky is that soon enough you realize that if I can do it for less, I'm going to beat the guy otherwise. So I feel like it's designed so that if you can cheat correctly, you'll always win. Like if you can make a product out of cheap particle board instead of real wood,
Right.
you're going to beat somebody. If you can find a machine that over time is going to save you labor costs because you only pay one guy to work the machine, you can beat the guy who's actually a skilled tradesman, right?
Yeah.
If you think of, I think that's the real problem with it. What do you think? What do you think about all that? You know, if we had to keep money, let's say this, we had to keep money just for ease of things, but we can still trade, you know?
Yep.
You can work on my Honda Accord.
Yeah.
And I'll come trade
You
brass.
can give us some dollars. For
You
that.
know?
That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, so do you see that America and, well, one, like, do you think that the current form of capitalism will last the long term? If you had to put an expiration date on what we're currently doing, is there an expiration date? No expiration date?
Yeah. In terms of a timeline, I don't know. I don't know how sustainable things are as they are. And I mean, we talked about it just with our situations. It's like that's happening all over the country.
Yeah.
So something's got to shift and something's got to change. The timeline, I know you mentioned maybe 30 years as a...
I think about 30.
About 30 years. I'm happy to go with your expertise on that.
Yeah,
and just
no, I
say-
have no expertise. I have no expertise. To me, it's
I
just
thought,
like,
is that a prophecy? As an
like,
opinion?
well, 7 elections later,
Yeah, we might be there.
yeah, maybe.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah.
not. Okay, so you're not sure about the
I'm
time
not
frame.
sure on the timeline.
Do you think there will be a moment of like a Brexit moment that throws everything into kind of chaos, that we have to reinvent, reconnect, a hard reset? Do you think that's potential?
Yes.
Yeah?
Always. I mean, no one would have guessed that Brexit would have happened. And even being in London at the time, you almost got the sense that the people that were promoting Brexit, it was to get some notoriety, to get a platform, as much more than it was to get a vote in their favour, which was very obvious by what happened after it went through.
What's his name?
Boris Johnson.
Yeah, Boris Johnson was like, Homer Simpson into the bushes.
Yeah, he did not expect to win that thing. And if you were in London at that time, it was a different vote between what was going on in the city and what was going on in the UK generally. So you were seeing these two different worlds. And because you were so insulated in London, you're like, Brexit's never going to happen. And so, but again, it just shows you the disconnect even from being in the city to being out. And the people, probably a lot of people that were doing the commute into London were the ones that were feeling everything that was happening and were voting.
And now they're tied to the commuting because they have less opportunities, even though they were voting.
And yeah, and there was some hot button topics in there like there always are. But I think just the words, they bring to the surface the emotion that's already there. And if there's an anger and a rage, you just have to say a couple of words that can stir anger and rage, and you're going to get people to vote or bring a shift in your nation. So I think, is there emotion boiling under the surface here
in America?
I mean, you see what's going on around the country even right now. Like you can see what's happening in Washington, different places, and it's like, and there are good causes people can rally, but sometimes there's just emotion that's stirring and it's got to find a way out. And so I wouldn't be surprised that there would be a major shift somewhere along on the track. What that would look like, for us, it was Brexit. I don't know what that would look like for the US.
Amerixit.
Where are you going to go?
Name of the podcast, Amerixit. Where are we going to go? I love it.
Yeah.
Where are we going to go?
Yeah, who knows, eh? Who knows? But it's interesting to think about, and you just pay attention to what's going on, and I think be careful of any time you hear, oh, that will never happen. Don't listen to that.
Don't listen to
that, because it would have told you that would have never happened in the UK.
Well, let's say on the other side of Amerixit. All right, we'll call it that for now. The other side of Amerixit. What do you hope that America hangs on to? And let's say that we had an opportunity to reinvent America after Amerixit.
Right.
And I'm loving that, by the way. What do you hope that we would be like, hey, you know what? Like, this was eat the meat, throw out the bones. What's the meat that you're hoping, like, oh, on the other side of this,
right,
meat?
What's the meat? Definitely the entrepreneurial spirit. That we can create and innovate, and we can make a life here. I think that's going to be part of the fabric, whatever happens in this country. So that's, like, for me, number one. That's got to be something there. A sustainable lifestyle, would be, it's like you got to take into consideration the land, you got to take into consideration the people. Like, does society get to rise up and be honest, or is it just a few that would be on top? So that would be it. I guess, like, the best way to phrase it would be, if there's capitalism, it would be capitalism with a conscience, rather than.
What does that mean?
So if we were to go back to, like, the negative side of capitalism, it's like, what can I get? If you were going to follow that through, it's like, hey, I can own, so therefore I want to get as much as possible. And that's where we see, you talked about the consumer debt. We see this hyper consumerism that can play into capitalism, right? So you don't have to look far to see that. Like, for example, sorry, go on, you were going to say something.
Oh, no, you go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking, like, one of the first things I experienced when we were here, I remember going to my in-laws' house, and on the TV was a medicine commercial.
Okay.
And it's like, you got two people walking through a field, and they talk about the medicine, and they talk about how it's going to kill you in all these ways before it's going to cure you.
Oh, right. Like,
but they're still running through the field. Yeah,
cause nosebleeds. You could diarrhea.
It's like
your life.
So hilarious for me to watch. There's nothing like this. I've not seen anything like this in England. But then it was kind of shocking and scary to me that, whoa, I'm in a country now where I almost like become the expert on medicine. I know nothing about medicine, and I can walk into a doctor's office who's gone and studied and trained and say, I want this. Almost like going to a grocery store. And I'm like, man, that's capitalism, hyper capitalism, that you get to consume, even you get to make choices about things you know nothing about.
Just because you saw two people walking hand in hand.
In a field, like it was a nice field.
It was on TV.
And it was on TV. And it was like, hey, but that's a result of where you get to with like the consumerism. So you see how that can how that plays out and how it can get there. So capitalism with a conscience, for me, it doesn't promote consumerism. It promotes the well-being of society. So it's like, and you know, we've talked about this, but one of the things that is probably the major difference that I see in the UK and the US is like the healthcare system.
Okay.
So over here, you've got the healthcare system, you've got the insurance companies, and you know the biggest banks in your cities are banks and hospitals, right? And that's where the most money is a lot of the time, is in banks and hospitals. In England, you don't like looking at a hospital in England.
Yeah.
It's just there. It's just like hey, what we're just doing this thing. It's a service more than it is an experience.
Oh, it's a service.
It's a service.
Like, hey,
it's a service. So
oil change across the street. Get your tires rotated. Come on in here and
right.
Yeah.
You're almost expecting a massage when you go to get healthcare here, because it's like the whole thing. You go in with a cold, and they'll do 25 things before they give you like Tylenol. I don't know. It'll be a whole
lot of tests.
A lot of tests. A lot of things go on.
Little stick and poke.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I remember we took our son, like he was sick when we first got here, and we took him to the hospital, and I was just blown away by how many different people came into the room to do different things. And I'm like, he just needs some cold medicine. That's all he needs. He's going to be all right. So in the UK, it's a service that you got, an NHS, the National Health Service, which is paid for by the taxes. It goes out of your income, part of your taxes. But because of that, they're still like, the government's got the money, but they're not gaining anything. They've got to make sure that they're trying to save money all the time. So when you're trying to save money, you have a consciousness around that, and it's like, oh, we're not promoting anything at you that's gonna be ill-fitting. So if you're sick here, and I'm not saying that anyone's out to make you sick, but the system benefits from you being sick.
Because they're going to make money on the
because
drugs.
there's money on the drugs, there's money on the healthcare, there's money on the insurance. So as much as and you can live healthy here, but I feel like you've got to look for it, and you've got to try to look for that here. Whereas in the UK, you can't get that out of your face. That is put in front of you all day, every day. Eat your 5 a day, Tim.
That's 5 vegetables.
5 fruits and vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables. Good thing, God.
Every day. You got to do 5.
I've been trying to do 5 a day vegetables.
Yeah. No, that's too much.
But yeah, 5 fruits and vegetables
5
a day.
fruit and veg a day.
And everybody knows that. Everybody knows, like,
everybody knows.
5 a day.
Yeah. Yeah. You walk into a grocery store, and if you pick up something that's like, it's got some sugar in it, it's going to be there in big red numbers on the box. Do not do this thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
They put it on the box?
They put it on the box. It's like, what you're about to consume is really not good for you.
Wow.
So
does anybody ever come up when you're picking up, like, tiramisu, and they're like, hey, you better get 6 a day. Better get that 6 today.
No one would ever do that in England, because you wouldn't talk to each other in the grocery store.
Maybe that's America. We definitely talk to people in the grocery store.
Yeah.
We talk to people in the grocery store.
What's that all about? I'm here to
For Leigh's sake,
get my
stop
food.
talking to him in the grocery store. He doesn't like it. Let me reset this outlet that died.
Yeah, we're going to need that because
We need that
it's a little
AC.
toasty in here, mate.
Let's see. What happened?
Does that mean we're finished? Is it telling us to stop?
No, brother, party, we will rock on.
All right, mate.
But I don't know anything about this building.
Is it on a timer?
It is not on a timer. It's on a breaker box. Technical difficulties.
Oh yeah, this is real.
I don't even know where the breakers are for these things, you know? All right. This whole line is out. What about this?
Lordy.
I don't know. Well, are you uncomfortable? Is it going to get too hot for you?
I mean, we'll just call it when we're just sweating.
I know.
When we're sweating out, mate.
Man. Well, I think that what you're pointing out, and we're not conspiracy theorists here, we're just saying the system at rest, right?
Yeah.
Without any personal engagement.
Yeah.
A person at rest could easily get unhealthy in America.
Oh yeah.
And a person at rest, that same person at rest in England will probably stay healthy.
Yeah, I mean,
Average person.
Well, I mean, I think like there's probably it's pretty equal when it comes to unhealthiness.
Okay.
I think you feel a lot guiltier in the UK.
People are people.
if you try and live that way, but yeah, and something I do know is that I think the price that is paid for medicine over here is like 7 times higher than what is paid for medicine in the UK.
Interesting.
So with
Same medicine.
exactly the same. But with it being a service and with it being, you know, just like, hey, we want to save as much, there's a lot more haggling around the price because
gotcha.
you need to bring the prices right down so that it becomes sustainable for the system.
Gotcha.
So there's something that happens there, whereas I think over here is because there's so much maybe financially, there's so much money pumped into the systems. You don't have to have that same conversation around, hey, we need to pay much less for the medicine because the money's in the system. So it's not there. So I remember hearing that. I'll have to find my source for that.
Yeah.
It was on a podcast.
Well, I read an interesting article, and they were trying to say, how do we fix American healthcare? And they were pointing out hospitals who were starting their own insurance companies inside the hospital, right? Because then if you thought you had 3 parties, right? So you've got the people who make the pharmaceuticals, that's a whole company. You've got the hospital who's administering, that's a whole thing. And then you've got your doctors, in network, out of network.
Yeah.
If you can imagine if all 3 of those in a capitalist sense, that they're all trying to get their most out of each other, you can see how that would be an upward spiral, right?
Yeah.
The more the medicine, the more the hospital, the more the doctors, and they're all everybody's trying to get as much as possible. So I think it was Philadelphia hospital said, what if we bought or created a pharmaceutical creating company and we have the doctors and the hospital and we're the insurance company. Oh, that's the other player in this, is the insurance company's trying to get all their money.
Yeah.
The hospital and the doctors are trying to get their money, and then the pharmaceutical company's trying to get their money. And at the point that they were all working on the same team,
Yeah.
they no longer had any interest in gouging
Yeah.
or wrestling for money, because you're going to steal from yourself at that point. You can't, just
Right.
like, it was eye-opening to me to think like, oh, and it sounds like you guys have a national health service, so there's probably less people arguing for their dollar because they all work for the same team.
Right.
Is that kind of accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, and I think that's a great idea, by the way. For me, that would be capitalism with a conscience. It's just like, you know, you've got that of we're all here, we're going after the same thing, and it just brings a unity, like it's unifying, right, rather than fragmenting, which is again another earmark of capitalism. So, yeah, I think that's right. It's interesting in the UK that during COVID, trying to get people to get with the plan, get with the program, you know, social distancing, wearing your mask, everything. The unifying factor was the NHS. So they just said, do it for the NHS. That became
Just do it for the NHS.
So it was like, if you do it for prime minister, that ain't going to work.
Yeah.
Do it for your country. That's not going to work. Do it for the NHS. And it was the one thing that they found everybody was like, all right, I can do that. For the most part.
It means they trusted the NHS. They appreciated
it. There was a value for it. So for the service. So there's something in that says, all right, here's a system that operates. There's obviously finances going into it, but it's done in such a way that society benefits from it. So it's capitalism with a conscience, is what I would say.
Wow, man. I love that. I'm going to look at a couple questions. It is getting toasty in here.
It's getting warm.
If you're listening and now watching, a whole string of outlets, we tripped a breaker, I guess, and our window unit ACs are off.
Yeah.
They are off. Man. How about this one?
Go on.
What are the three, give me an appetite. So here's what I'm asking everybody, right?
Go on.
So let's say there were expats and we've been living in India, not in this scenario, but I'm just saying, imagine that. Or we're living someplace that you can't get food.
Yeah.
That's American. And you and your friends, of course you're British, but you and your friends are like, let's have an American night. Let's have, I knew of a guy who was in the military and he was stationed someplace else and they were missing home so much in this other country that in June, I think they had a Christmas. Everybody was missing and they were like, man, nobody does Christmas like America. Let's have a good old fashioned American Christmas. We'll cook all the food. We'll buy the presents. They put up trees in their little, I don't know, their little on the military barracks apartment there.
Right.
And it was just cheer. It was just cheer in their hearts, right? So take me to a moment. What would you put in the American cookbook as far as like, what would we be eating if we just needed a taste of America?
Good American food.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd have biscuits and gravy.
Oh,
Number one.
Come on.
Like the first day I was here, ever visited Kentucky, and my father-in-law asked me, you want biscuits and gravy for breakfast? And like for an Englishman, biscuits are cookies.
Okay.
And gravy is brown, liquid. Like, you're just going to, and I'm like, that sounds absolutely terrible.
Okay.
And so,
lost in translation there.
But I was about to ask his daughter to marry me.
Oh, sure.
So I'm like, I can eat cookies.
Stakes were high.
In brown gravy, I can do it. So I said, yeah, like, get it. And then he opens this brings it. He bought it from, I can't remember where he got it from. He got it from some fast food. It might have even been DQ. It might have been.
Yeah, they do a mean biscuits and gravy.
It might have been DQ,
queen.
mate. I tell you. And it rolls in, brings this box, and I open it, and when I see these two like scone muffin things and this white gravy with sausage sticking out.
Sausage bits in.
I think I ate it every day for a week, man.
For a week?
For a week. Like, I'm like, what do you want for breakfast? Biscuits and gravy.
Oh my gosh.
But it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so great. It's just a good staple. So definitely biscuits and gravy are in there.
Okay.
They've got to be there.
So kicking it off with biscuits and gravy, anything else? Like maybe a dessert or maybe, appetizer. Maybe...
Let's think. I feel like I've got, well, I'll tell you what, sweet potato casserole.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bonkers.
With the marshmallows on top.
It's like the Buc-ee's of dishes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's like you something says, man, I don't know if I should like this, but I'm all into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's exactly like that. So sweet potato casserole, because every time I'm seeing it, I'm like, there's something wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't
But then
like it
you
would
just
work.
get that spoon in there, you whack it on the plate, and you know that you're eating sweet potatoes with marshmallows as part of your dinner with turkey or whatever else, man. That's just special. So it has to be in there. Sweet potato casserole, if you can find a good one, because I'm going to eat it. Something's going to, like, I don't know, there's going to be something in my spirit that's like, don't do it, but I'm still going to do it every time. Every time it's going to happen.
I think any casserole looks humble. It looks humble. It looks like you just took a bunch of stuff and put it in a container and then put that container, not even a plate,
Right.
It's not a bowl.
It's not a bowl. Yeah.
It's just a container that goes in ovens.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man,
that-
casserole.
is that a
sweet
good one?
potato Casserole, so good.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one more.
Okay.
Grits.
Okay, now we're gonna drill down here because I love grits.
Okay. Grits, because no one knows what it actually is. Like everyone that talks to me, when I say what are grits, and they're like,
Okay.
grits are like,
Okay.
and I'm like, so it's like, it's a little bit like unicorn food. Like nobody knows actually what grits are. So if we have it in a cookbook, I'll finally know what grits are.
Well, have you had grits?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had it. I like it. They'll say, I'll say, what is it? And it's like grits with like cheese and bacon. I don't know what the grit bit is,
Yeah.
but I know there's cheese and bacon or.
I gotcha.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what are grits?
Man,
What are they?
I think that is the question. What are grits? I don't know. I heard that they were the inside of a corn is a little kernel,
Okay.
but that seems like a lot of work to be pulling out tiny kernels and throwing away the rest of the corn. I don't know. So are you a cheese grits guy, bacon grits guy, brown sugar grits guy, or maple syrup grits guy? Or maybe you're another one that I don't even know about.
It's got to be cheese grits, cheese and bacon.
Cheese and bacon. Put it
Yeah,
together?
put it together, man. Have you ever done that?
I haven't. No, usually my bacon's hanging out next to it being like, that's what's up. I'm with him.
But you can take a bit of bacon and put it in there.
Oh, I do dip it.
Yeah.
I use it as the shovel,
Same.
you know?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Man, awesome. Well, you've been such an amazing guest. Thanks, Leigh, so much.
Thank you.
Anything you want to add?
No, it's been a pleasure.
Man.
Thanks for having me on.
Awesome.
It's nice and warm in here now.
All right, guys, that's it for us. Eat some grits.